You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Branton, the Battered Fans are back. Welcome everybody to episode number one of the Battered Marlins Fans podcast, episode number one of 2026. That is, I am your host Dave Garan, and alongside me, as always, Mr. Branton Griffin. How are you doing, sir?
Spring is in the air. Baseball's back, man. I'm doing great.
Yeah, man, we took the off season off, but we're back.
Yeah.
Opening day is on Friday. We are recording this on a Tuesday morning, so we're right around the corner, and we're excited, especially off of the 2025 season. I think where we overperformed a little bit, right? We had that hot summer, and we had Kyle Stowers come out of nowhere after a rough year, came back, had a great year last year, became an all-star. Just a lot of things in the positive direction, and then Sandy, I never ever would have bet on Sandy being still part of this team this year. Um, a lot of interesting things going on. Your thoughts on the offseason, the fact that Sandy's still here, and just 2025 in general before we go on to 2026.
Oh man, 2025. Yeah. I think how many times did we end shows like this could be Sandy's last start? This could be Sandy's last start.
Did have that a couple of
And
times.
he's still here. And
Yeah.
but yeah, 2025 was a great season. I think it was a good step forward for the organization. Like not only at the big league level, but we also reloaded like the prospects. And so, like we have a pretty decent farm system now. Some guys that are pretty close to big league ready that are going to kind of play a pivotal role in the organization going forward. So I think 2025 was a great year. I'm personally glad that Sandy is back, because I mean, what we kind of all knew, but what we saw a lot in the spring is Sandy is really mentoring Yuri. And like, as like Sandy is like now back like with the team full time, like you see Yuri kind of learning from him like how to be a pitcher, how to be professional, and then also adding in some secondary pitches, which is going to be great for this season, I think.
Yeah. Like you said, I wasn't expecting him back. I thought that Yuri would end up being the ace this season. But Sandy gets the start opening day. I'm sorry, I'm looking through some stuff. Gets to start opening day, and I'm excited for it. I'm really happy. Now, I think it's something that we have to enjoy what we can, because if Sandy has a good start to the season, and obviously we're not necessarily doing too hot, we'll be having those conversations again. Like, hey, get out to the ballpark, because
Yeah.
this might be your last chance to see Sandy with the Marlins, because trade deadline looming. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. I
Yeah.
don't want to get negative yet.
Well,
Let's get start with the
with his
positives.
contract situation, you never know.
Yeah, I know, but
This is the last
I'm glad
year.
that I'm still gonna get to watch him play a couple times this year. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into 2026, the season before it even starts, Kyle Stowers goes down, which I thought was
Hmm.
an unfortunate blow, because you expect him to build off of last year. Uh, on, you know, he got injured towards the end of the year, and we didn't get to really see what it could have been for a full season. I was kind of hoping to see that this year, but again, he starts on the DL.
Yeah.
What is it? He's out for 3 to 4 weeks.
3 weeks, I think, is what they're saying. He'll probably miss 3 weeks of the season.
And then Asturi Ruiz, or Ruiz, is also injured. He's also out. They say that he might be out a little longer. A lot of people
Hmm.
were thinking that Griffin Conine might not make the the roster
Yeah.
because of Ruiz. So because of this, at least Conine gets his spot and a chance to prove that he belongs. Uh, your thoughts on the two injuries before we move on to the starting lineup?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Stowers injury is, I mean, obviously the bigger of the two, but it's also a bit concerning too because like the guy missed half the season last season. Now starting off missing the first 3 weeks. Hopefully he can get it back together. He also missed a lot of spring, so I while he's out 3 weeks with injury, I wouldn't expect to see him anytime soon on the big league team. You're probably looking 2 months at least because he's gonna have to ramp up in AAA.
You think so?
So that one hurts.
You think that he's gonna be out that long?
Well, I think he's going to miss at least 3 to 4 weeks with the injury itself, and then I think he has to ramp up in AAA because he missed most of the spring training. So it's not like he was like in baseball form before he got injured. He was still kind of ramping up, got injured, because he was also out with a strain for most of spring training. So I think you're probably looking at a good extended period of time away from the team.
All right. Well, now my next question. He played with the Marlins in 2024. He was only there for he only played like maybe less than half the season, and he looked bad.
Yeah,
He did not look good. Then last year he finds his form. What are you expecting in 2026 when he finally does come back healthy? Because we've seen the bad, we've seen the good. Are
mhm,
we preparing ourselves for the ugly, or is he going to figure this thing out consistently? Because the fact that he's been injured, right? Because as a baseball player, you need to get into a flow, you need to get into a rhythm,
yeah,
and all these injuries just haven't allowed that. Um, are you expecting a lot? Because I think a lot of people are expecting a lot from Kyle Stowers to the point. And I know that this
yeah,
might be silly to say, but I mean, he is the opening day bobblehead. Like he is what they're trying to sell
yeah,
you as the face of the team. So there's
yeah.
a lot riding on Stowers figuring this out consistently, and we don't know. I mean, last year he looked good. The year before, not so much. What are you expecting from Kyle Stowers?
I think the Kyle Stowers we saw last season is the Kyle Stowers we can expect to see back. I think he's going to continue to perform, at an all-star level, and I think he's I think that's basically who we have now. Like, he's kind of pieced everything together. He's gone through his struggles. He's hitting his prime. Like, I do think that we're going to have a very successful season from him. My only concern now is, you know, injuries, right? Like he's been injured a lot.
Yeah, no, and that is the worry. The
So,
worry is that one, it was a span of a couple months that where he was hot, right? Which we see in baseball all the time, right? And then they completely because they
yeah.
can't keep it consistent, they fall off. So we have to hope and keep
Hmm.
our fingers crossed that he can keep this consistent. That this is the new Kyle Stowers, and two that he can stay healthy. But with that said, we're gonna go into the starting lineup now. Before I do, so last night before this, I was gonna make some graphics, right? Because I thought it'd be nice to have some visuals for those of you watching on YouTube and not on audio. And as I'm searching for some pictures of the players, right, so I can make the graphic, I come across a social media page on Instagram. So shout out to Marlins Network. I wasn't I followed as soon as I found you guys, I followed them and they had some graphics already made. So I'm using their graphics. Shout out to Marlins Nation. If you're watching this, you probably already know about them. And Fish on First, those are
Yeah.
like my two go-tos. So shout out to Fish on First also. I mean, if you're watching this, you for sure probably know about them already, but just make sure just in case. But here you go. So shout out to Marlins Nation. This is the graphic that they had up. So let's start with catcher. Augustine Ramirez. Are you comfortable with him at catcher? Because defensively, he's crap.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
No. I really did think I thought before the spring I thought we'd probably see
Joe
Joe
Mack.
Mack at that position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we would. And when we started spring and we did not see Augustine Ramirez play first base like at all, I was like, all right, I guess we're rolling with Augustine. So I think bat wise, like you have to have him in your lineup. Um, but defensive wise, he's a liability behind the plate.
No, defensively, he's terrible. Defensively, he's
Yeah.
terrible. I mean, since last year, we've been saying that maybe it's time to see Joe Mack and move Ramirez over to DH or something. But
DH
we
or
might see Joe
first or
Mack,
something. Yeah.
yes, something, because he has not looked good defensively. So already we're starting off poorly
Mhm.
defensively. All right, then we go to first base. Grant Pauly is what Martin's network has up here. Chris Morel is
I
the
don't
one
think
that
it's gonna be
uh,
Graham Pauley though.
right. Chris Morel is the one that's
I
been
think
getting a
it's
lot of
be
time.
Morel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So Chris
played
Morel
almost the entirety at
into
first.
entire.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think if he has a bounce back season, I think that could be pretty good for us.
Agreed.
He's looked good in the
So
spring.
we think Chris Morel first base. Now, the best part of the
Hmm.
Marlins team, I think, defensively, anywhere on this field, is the middle of the infield.
Hmm.
Right? We have
Yeah,
Otto Lopez and Xavier Edwards. Probably top five duo defensively in the league, I would say. We're feeling
yeah,
comfortable with those, so I would assume.
yeah. I mean, those two have to start every game, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. They're basically our new Castillo and Gonzalez, or Ugla and Ramirez.
Yes. We've had some nice duos.
Yeah, we
All right.
have.
All right. Connor Norby, third base.
Yeah, I think him and Paulie will probably end up splitting a lot of the time there, but um, that was kind of one of the position battles I wanted to see in the spring is Norby versus Paulie because I wasn't kind of sure who would take it, but Paulie
Looks
ended
like
up hurt
Norby.
most of the spring, so
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And then in the outfield, we have center field, Jacob Marcy. I mean, he's solidified starter center field. I think we're all happy with him.
Yeah,
Now, the
100%.
surprise to me was Owen Casey.
I know. I was shocked.
Yeah, me too. I was okay. So we got this young gun out on the right field, and then left field, Kyle Stowers, which is now injured. Uh, think Conine gets that spot for the time being.
Yeah, I think Casey flips over to take left field, and then we see Conine in right. We might even see, depending on how they want to use him, because Morel's played out in the outfield before. And I think it's important to point, like, Morel has not played first base before this season, but he looked good in the spring. So I think we probably see him in the outfield a bit. And Sanoha, you have to have him penciled in to make quite a few starts out there, too.
Yeah, no, I mean he's the ultimate utility guy. Um,
Yeah.
and then Heriberto Hernandez, DH, possibly. Even though I think Agustin Ramirez should make his way out there eventually. Um,
Yeah, I think the DH position we're going to rotate players through because we have too
often.
much depth in the outfield, especially when Stowers is back. You're going to have a guy, one of the outfielders in DH all the time, I think.
How are you feeling in general about the team?
I feel pretty good. I like I like the position players. I do think we probably need I'm still a little bit concerned about first base. Honestly, if Morel has a bounce back season and gets back to what he can be, I think we added a good power bat there, but
Well,
that's a
first base
big
was rough
if.
last year.
Um,
I mean, for the most part, first base was
yeah.
terrible last year.
Yeah, and so, that's my big concern. I mean, and besides Ramirez behind the plate, but I think the outfield's great. I think once Stowers is healthy, I think we have a great outfield. As you said, I think we have the best duo in the NL East, up the middle with
In the NL East for sure.
Edwards and Lopez. So, yeah. So I'm feeling pretty good. I like what team and the way it's shaping up.
And then shout out again to Marlins Network because they saved me. I would have been up for an hour making these because I'm no graphic designer, so it takes me a while to make these. Marlins rotation, well done. Love the graphic. Marlins
Oh
rotation.
yeah,
You have, yeah, I mean it came out beautifully. So you have Sandy, you have Yuri, Max Meyer, Paddock, and Jansen Junk. Great name,
yeah.
not consistent player, but as a fifth starter,
No.
I guess not too bad. I guess. Um, your thoughts on the starting rotation?
Um,
And Brax
I
is still not up.
yeah, I was originally surprised to not see Brax take that fifth spot, but
Hmm.
I think, when you miss a whole season with Tommy John coming back, it makes sense for him to start at
Yeah,
AAA
absolutely.
and get some more innings in him before they bring him up to the big league. So I would expect him up before July. Um, and Junk probably going, well, it'll probably be a race between Junk and Paddock on who goes to long reliever in the bullpen. Um, but I do think because they asked McCulloch about it, and he was like, "Yeah, no, that Brax was never going to go to the bullpen. It was either AAA or the big league team." So I think
Okay.
that just tells you he will be with this team eventually, and I think that just gives you a fresh arm midway through the season. I think that's a great ace to have in your back pocket because when when Brax is on, like Brax is the top end of the rotation guy.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think it's good to have a guy like that ready to go and jump in if there's an injury or something. And then, you've got a couple prospects that are kind of close. Thomas White might be, we probably see him at some point this season, I think.
Yes. Speaking of which, Thomas, one more time, shout out to Marlins Network. Yeah, at the top five prospects, Thomas White at some point. Owen Casey is already up. And then Joe Mack is the third that I expect to see
Hmm.
hopefully coming up. I don't know about Bobby Snelling, and I never even heard of Alva Arqueta. Never even heard of that person.
He, um, I think if I remember correctly, we signed him out of the Dominican League last summer. He's one of
Okay.
our foreign player signings. This dude is a monster shortstop. He's like I think he's like 6'5" or something.
Really?
He's
Oh,
a
I never even
monster.
heard of
He's gonna
him.
be good, but he's young. Yeah, he's really young. I think he's only like 18.
Well, if you look above Branton's head, we're at 500 right now.
No,
We're at 500. We're 0-0. We're at
we're in the
500.
hunt.
Good start for the season. We are right there, neck and neck, as a contender with every single other person in the National League. So we're off to a good start so far. But
Yeah.
building off of 2025, how, give me your predictions for 2026. Are we in the hunt? Are we fighting
Um.
for a wild card spot? Are we fighting for the NL East title? Like, what are we doing right now? What is your prediction? And the over under for the Marlins right now in Vegas is 72.5, which I thought was kind of low. But,
Yeah, that's a
Vegas
little
knows what they're
low.
doing.
Yeah. I I think we're probably looking at competing for a wild card spot. I don't think we compete for the NL East. With the
At one point
additions the
last year, we
Mets
were like,
made
ooh,
over the
maybe if
offseason.
everything falls right.
Yeah, I I think the Mets and Phillies are still too strong. Um, and then I think the Braves, there's a possibility the Braves are going to be back. I don't think you have that much talent on the team, and then you just like completely waste away for 2 seasons. I think they maybe come back this season. But I do think we compete for the wild card. I think that's definitely a possibility, and I'd venture to say we probably finish at maybe a little above 500 for the season.
Okay. I mean, last year, I remember when we were doing this show last year, we just kept saying, just finish ahead of the Mets. That was our goal. Finish
Yeah,
ahead of the Mets. And we ended up 4 games behind them. They had a really rough year. We ended
yeah,
up 4 games behind the Mets. We ended up, who the heck had us finishing above the Braves? Or who had the Braves being as bad as they were last
yeah.
year? Nobody. To get
That's
into the
right.
wild card last year, you needed 83 wins, which is what the Cincinnati Reds had. 83 wins got them in. We were 4 games off of that mark. I'm going to
Yeah.
go for 500. I think we can get to 81 wins, which is a small
Mhm.
improvement. We'll probably still miss the wild card. It'll keep things interesting throughout September, though. Um,
Yeah,
but I think that this is just another step forward this season. I don't think that we're necessarily ready
I
to
agree.
compete yet. Bendix is very crafty with his moves. He'll make not
Hmm.
big splashes, but he'll do just enough, I hope, throughout this season and in the offseason next year to keep improving the team and make us just straight
Yeah.
playoff contenders. And I think 2027 is that year where you want to go in there and be like,
Mhm.
no, we need to get a wild card spot or be in the thick of things. Like that's the expectation going into 2027. But 2026, I think the feel good from 2025 was such a surprise that people are coming into the season
Mhm.
optimistic, not too high expectations, but feeling good. And I think that's
Yeah.
a good place for the fan base to be. And in 2027, I think the expectation just goes up just a little bit. Now, 2027, I think you're just expecting, all right, let's make the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think, the other thing you mentioned, Bendix, is like crafty moves. I think one thing to point out is we currently have one open roster spot on the major league team. So before last season, what was it, the Birdie trade Bendix made right before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see him make another trade, and maybe bring somebody in that maybe was on like the bubble for another team or something. And maybe I wouldn't be surprised to see him out of first baseman, honestly. but we'll see.
It's gonna be interesting, but I'm really excited. I'm gonna try to make it out this
Yeah,
weekend to a game. I'm not gonna make it Friday. Friday, I love opening day, but man, that's like the only time that the stadium is completely packed. So I'm just gonna avoid
hmm,
opening day, and I'll go opening weekend. As much as I love opening day,
yeah,
it sucks. And I love bobbleheads. For those that don't know, I'm a big
yeah,
bobblehead guy. I love bobbleheads. The Cal Styles, it has me almost wanting to go, but I'm just gonna have to just wait. And I might settle for the bucket hat on Sunday or just go on Saturday, one or the other.
yeah. I
Uh,
agree. And I mean, that Friday night start though is kind of nice. Normally
it
it's like a
is.
Wednesday during the day.
Yeah, and you know what? The season starts on Wednesday, right? The Yankees play the Giants on Netflix
Yeah,
on Wednesday night, and then we don't
yeah,
get on the field in for 2 days after that, which is I thought a little weird, but you know, I'm okay with it, I
yeah.
guess. Um, your thoughts, real quick, on the teal. We're bringing back the teal.
Oh, I love it. I love
Me
it.
too.
I couldn't be
Me
more
too.
excited.
They got to go to it permanently. I feel like stop dipping your toe in it. Just give it to us
What?
permanently.
I was talking to one of my friends about it because he said the same thing, and I said, you know what? This is actually probably pretty smart on the Marlins side because if they go back to teal permanently, everybody's gonna buy one jersey and keep that jersey forever. But if they keep going in like every year or every other year bringing back the teal, but like a different version of it from the past, how many jerseys are they going to sell? How much merchandise are they selling if they keep touching back on that?
Okay,
You
I can see
know,
that, but how many more versions do they have? They're just missing what, the black?
I could see them doing like the black, like that from the '03.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be awesome if they did the vests? Like
I
that,
missed the vest.
that could happen.
You know, I found that
Yeah,
Renteria jersey, and I think I might have texted you guys and asked you. I don't remember if I did
yeah,
or not. And I was like, should I get the vest or just the jersey? And you guys said the jersey, and I went with the jersey, and I'm glad I did because I stopped hitting the
yeah.
gym, so my arms are in no way, shape, or form should they be out in the sun. But
I feel that.
I saw they had the vest, and I was like, man, I should get the vest because I love those vest jerseys. I might rock that
Yeah,
Renteria
who
jersey this
knows?
weekend to the stadium.
That could be next season. Who knows?
Yeah.
That'd be
All right.
cool.
So we're back. This is episode one. We're knocking the rust off a little bit. Obviously, it looked a little. We were a little rusty, and that's fair, right? We haven't been on here
Yeah,
for like 5, 6 months, but we're gonna get in our groove, just like the Marlins are very soon, like Star Wars is soon.
yeah.
I hope that you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe. Brent, any final words?
No, just let's try and keep that optimism for the rest of the season. It's gonna have its ups and its downs, and I think we're in for a good season, and just enjoy opening day, whatever team you're watching. Just watch a lot of baseball.
Look, as long as it's better than the start of the 2024 season, because I remember coming off that
Oh
2023
God,
season, we made the playoffs. That was our first season doing the show, 2023. We had such a fun year that year. Shout out to Spaz,
yeah,
and oh my
Cali,
God,
yeah,
and Cali. I just blanked on Cali's name. Shout out to Spaz and Cali. 2023, fun year, and then 2024 starts off. We go, what was it? 0-11 was it to start the season? We're out of it the very first week. It completely killed all good
yeah,
field. 2024 was miserable. But 2025 brought us back in, and I'm ready for 2026. All right.
yeah.
If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we will be back on Monday morning to recap the weekend series. So hopefully we're talking about a 3-0 start. No, maybe not. We'll see.
Oh, I hope so.
Hey, I,
It's the Rockies.
all right.
Yep.
Give me a quick prediction for the weekend. I say we get 2 out of 3.
Uh,
We're gonna go in. We're gonna go
yeah,
above 500 Monday. 2-1.
yep. I agree. 2 out of 3. I think we win Sandy and Yuri starts, and then
I think Yuri
well, we
gets lit
got
up.
Max going too. I'm gonna go for the sweep.
I think Yuri gets lit up. I don't know why. I'm not feeling good about Yuri this year.
No,
Mm-mm. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm
we'll
being a
see.
dumbass and I'm wrong, but I'm not feeling good about Yuri. Well, we'll be back on Monday, hopefully talking about a great Yuri start, a Sandy complete game,
Yeah,
and a Max Meyer masterclass. But until the next one,
yeah.
have a good one.